Well, at the time, I had just recently, discovered information on like incorporating carbs into the diet. And that was just kind of new to me. I think it's like the metabolic way of eating, or, and it was intriguing to me. And so I kind of went down a rabbit hole. I kind of get lost down the rabbit hole, so I couldn't say exactly how I found you, but I ended up finding your Instagram page. And as soon as I found your Instagram page, I saw that you were diabetic. And then there was specifically, I must have responded to maybe a post you had or something on your stories, because you sent me the link, and it was the 5 steps to lower insulin resistance without low carb diets. And that right there, I like responded right away, because that, I feel like you were like the puzzle piece that was missing. I had researched so many different things, and you know, incorporating carbs and balancing blood sugar, but everything that I was, hearing and reading, the diabetes part, or people who had, they're like, drink orange juice or eat more carbs. And I was like, but when I do that, my blood sugar raises. And in my mind, I'm like, that can't be good. There's got to be another way. There's something else missing. And I was searching and searching and searching. And then I found your page and saw that you were diabetic. And then that 5 steps to lowering insulin resistance without low carb diets. And that was like mind blowing to me. And then as soon as I read it, then it was just more information. I was like, this is my aha moment. This is what I've been looking for forever. And so then I knew that I wanted to work with you, because not only I think seeing that you were diabetic, because I feel like in my, researching, there just isn't a lot of diabetics that I, ran into. And I mean, I guess maybe that's a good thing. There's maybe not a lot out there, but the fact that you were diabetic, I knew that you had firsthand experience. And then as soon as I, read your story, with going to doctors and medications, because I too had a little bit of experience with that too. And I was turned off by a lot of the things that some doctors were saying. And, I know they have good intentions, but it just never set right with me. I'm like, there's got to be more. And low carb diets, I tried for so long, and they worked, and I would check my sugars and I would get lower blood sugars, but I would get high fasting blood sugars, which didn't make sense. And, I was always told, carbs, sugar is bad. And to me, that was not, when I was good, I was good. But then I would fall off the wagon and, completely fall off and blow it. And then I would, eat bad. And to me, I was like, eating low carb for the rest of my life does not sound enjoyable. There was more stress around it than I feel like enjoyment. I would lose weight. All these things would happen, but I was like, I can't eat this way for the rest of my life. So as soon as I saw that post that you had, I was like, this is it. This is how I know I found. And then, I did watch some of the testimonials or reviews, on clients you had worked with. And I'm like, he's working with clients who have the same thing going on. And it was just, with each thing that I read, I knew that I wanted to work with you. I would say, what initially, got me into even looking into it, kind of digging deeper, was I had gone a while without checking my blood sugars, and I had just recently started checking them again just to see. I think I was kind of in denial. I'm like, blood sugars, yeah. I was focusing on other health things. And when I started checking them, they were actually pretty normal throughout the day. And I was like, okay, I haven't, I'm doing good. And then I checked my fastings and they were pretty high. I was having, some 200, over 200. I had like a 260 one time, and I was like, that scared me. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't understand this, but something has to change. And another thing that I had noticed was, in previous years, I had, if I gain a little bit of weight, I would go low carb and the weight would just fall right off. And over the years, I had gained some weight, and I started doing low carb, and I was pretty consistent with it. And I was not doing like any carbs, even fruit, because carbs are bad. And I did low carb, and I lost like maybe 5 pounds in a matter of months. And that was I was like, okay, something's going on. And that caused me to just research more and more, and then obviously led me to you. But I would say the higher fasting blood sugars really is the main thing that I was noticing. Also, fatigue, low energy, not able to lose weight. Those things were just really, because I felt like I was doing a lot of things to improve those and nothing was working. So it was kind of at a dead end. So that's kind of where I was at when we started. I was very frustrated, especially, I had gained more weight than I had ever really gained in my life. It wasn't a ton, but it was a lot for me. And it was very frustrating because everything I thought I knew and seeing my body respond in, previous years, and then for it not to, it was, very frustrating and discouraging. Yeah. I don't feel like I was skeptical when it came to, I had maybe a little bit of hesitation. It's more so I just didn't have knowledge. I'd never worked with a coach before, so that was new to me. And I've always had like an interest, but there was never a coaching program that I think I was interested enough in to pursue. But when I found you and I was like, this is something I've been searching for so long, I did feel pretty, solid in my decision to want to work with you. I think for the most part, I was skeptical with myself, if that makes sense, because I wanted to make sure. I knew it was going to take work, and because I hadn't worked with a coach before, I wanted to make sure that our time was well spent, and this is an investment, and I want to make sure that I'm in a place that I can put my all into this. So I kind of had to have a little talk with myself and be like, are we ready to do this? But it was kind of a mind thing. And for a long time with the diabetes thing that I have, blood sugars and things that I've experienced for so many years, I was kind of in denial about the whole thing. So I kind of had to accept some things, like accept that, I'm probably insulin resistant. I'm going into being a diabetic. And that was something I was in denial for a long time. So I would say, if anything, it was with myself, but not with the program or anything. I would say, I've definitely noticed a decrease in the fasting blood sugars, which was really encouraging for me, especially since that was one of my big concerns when we started. I've noticed more energy. I have more of an appetite in the morning. There was, for a long time, I wasn't eating breakfast because I wasn't hungry, and I wanted to, and I would try. But it was not enjoyable, and it was just hard. And I was getting, I wasn't eating very frequently throughout the day either. So, I was just feeling a lot of fatigue. I was getting headaches, things like that. And all of that has improved greatly. And I definitely notice a difference. Like if I, kind of fall back, or, I have a day where I'm not eating as frequently, I definitely see that reflecting in, the fastings, my energy. But it's so cool because I have the tools now. Like I know what to do. I'm like, I was tired yesterday and I know exactly why. I know what to do. And then, sometimes I'll see the change the next day, but it's cool because you still see the change. And also knowing that one day doesn't determine like the rest of your life. Like it's just one day. There's so many factors too that determine all those things, which I didn't know before. So that was also huge. And also I'm not like as stressed about it. I think, in previous years, I would get so stressed about it because I didn't understand why it was happening. It's like, so there's a lot of stress, around that. And now it keeps getting better. But yeah, it's way less stressful. And that's another big piece that I learned throughout the program too, is how much stress affects it. I didn't realize that. Just in one day, like just a stressful situation. It doesn't even have to be a negative situation, but just a stressful event that gets, even a, really intense exercise, or, I would see a little bit of a difference. And I'm just realizing, how sensitive that is, in a sense, made me less stressed about it, knowing how much stress affects it. I feel like the stress and movement were really, really big for me. And I didn't realize. I kind of knew I was stress prone. I just didn't manage stress well. And I'm, it's still something that I work at every day, but I realized that a lot throughout the program. It was really eye-opening for me. So I've definitely been able to, implement some things that has improved that. My family, I've even told, about just things that you've posted on your Instagram page, and they've implemented some of it and they've seen change. And it's just amazing. Like I want to tell everybody, even people who aren't diabetic. Like I always thought it was just diabetics, but insulin resistance, can be for a lot of different people. My dad is not diabetic, and he was having, higher fasting blood sugars, and he started doing a few things that you have recommended, just via your Instagram page or whatnot. And he actually started having lower fasting. So if anything, your page, just check out the page, and then, hopefully that would lead them. And, to me, it was a little scary because I hadn't worked with a coach before, but, to learn tools that I could use for the rest of my life is very worth it. So I would express that to them too, is to be able to learn things that you can use and apply every day to see improvement in your health is huge. And sometimes having guidance, having a coach that can be there, answer questions, and, give you a little guidance to give you those tools and teach you those is so worth it. Because you have that forever. So that's what I would say. And to see change, like firsthand change with yourself is really exciting, but to also just, see it firsthand with family or people that, it's just more confirmation that it works. And I just love that.